Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Richardson Chamber of Commerce Women in Leadership Virtual Quarterly Luncheon. My name is Erin Williams. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones and a member of the Women in Leadership Committee. The purpose of Women in Leadership is to inspire, influence, and champion powerful women through advocacy, mentoring, and networking. We are excited that so many of you are able to attend and embrace our new virtual norm that we're all becoming accustomed to. We have a wonderful guest speaker today that will talk to us about branding. This presentation will be interactive with slides, poll questions, a Q&A, and a handout with actionable items for you to use. Whether this is your 10th luncheon or your first, we hope it won't be your last. At the end of the program, we'll tell you how you can get more involved in the Women in Leadership and the different committees that we have to support your growth and leadership in the community. I want to introduce our committee's leadership team this year. The lead tri-chair, Amy Spahn, she's the executive director of the Warren Center. Tri-chair Jenny Jones with Wimmer Solutions, and myself, Erin Williams with Edward Jones. We could not have the outstanding Women in Leadership program without our equally outstanding partners and sponsors. So our title sponsor is Methodist Richardson Medical Center, represented today by President Ken Hutchenreiter. Ken, I believe you have a few words to welcome to say to everyone.
Well, good morning, or good afternoon, actually, I guess, Erin. It is great to see all of y'all on our call today. Very excited that we're still able to do the Women in Leadership role. As I've said before, here at the hospital, we have so many ladies that are in leadership. I'm so proud of the diversity that we have at our facility. And we've all come together during this time of pandemic and have responded, not only from a hospital perspective, but from a Richardson perspective, from our community perspective, and it truly makes us Richardson strong. And I'm so proud that we are Richardson strong. So thank you for continuing. A very large thank you to Bill Spruill and to Paul Bindle for continuing these programs. I think they are so important. We're so proud to be a title sponsor. And again, Richardson strong. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken. We appreciate the support. We are also pleased to have an associate sponsor for the Women in Leadership program, Texas Bank and Trust. Texas Bank and Trust has a strong commitment to serve excellence. The bankers who have served customers' financial needs for many years continue to provide the same efficient, personalized service you have come to expect. The bankers are the people you know, the bankers you trust, and now more than ever, Texas Bank and Trust. So please join me in thanking those two major sponsors that help keep our programs going. We would also like to thank our virtual table sponsor today, Geico. So thank you all for sponsoring our events. We are deeply grateful for the support of our programs. I would also like to recognize the Richardson Chamber of Commerce Chairman of the Board, Stan Bradshaw, who is with us today. Stan, we appreciate your support with Women in Leadership and thank you for attending. One other quick announcement before we introduce our program. The Women in Leadership Committee wants your feedback to better plan for these luncheons and other activities. We will email you a short survey on today's program. It is only a few questions and should take you less than a minute to complete. By taking the survey, you will automatically be entered into a drawing for a $25 gift card. And now to introduce our guest today. I met Jill 3 years ago through a women's conference we had at Edward Jones, and her enthusiasm and knowledge was so inspiring, it made me look at my business differently. Since then, I've worked with her through one-on-one coaching, listening to her monthly calls, and following her on social media. Because of this, I was so excited that she was willing to participate and share her presentation with all of you today. Jill has over 25 years of experience in helping people achieve exceptional results. And so get ready to hear about personal branding and your strategy for success. Jill?
Hi, Erin. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I love the determination of this group to have this event virtually. I know that some of us are still working from home. I'm calling you in from Erie, Pennsylvania, which is northwestern Pennsylvania up on the lake. We don't have your weather. We actually had snow 3 weeks ago. I'm so happy that so many of you have chosen to attend, and Aaron and Andrea and Paul have done such a great job of coordinating this, so thank you. I've been working with women for over 25 years. Women, we know, think differently. We have a lot of responsibilities, and I've done a lot of work in economic development and with our Chamber of Commerce. So I hope to give you some good takeaways today in sharing the information. The information that we're going through is called personal branding. My history is doing strategic planning for a lot of chamber organizations within our area. About 8 years ago, I started doing this personal branding for individuals instead of doing them for businesses themselves. And so I'm going to walk you through this personal branding and this personalized strategic plan together. And we're going to have some polling questions. I always say in these virtual times, all of our meetings have been virtual for the past 2.5 months. Let's pretend we're all in the same room, having fun, just a bunch of us girls and the men who support us, keep our energy up, answer the polls, take some notes, ask some questions, but let's just pretend that we're all here together. Just embrace the fact that you as women, even in normal times, what you do is pretty challenging. Right now, some of you may have been doing some homeschooling while supporting your children. You may be supporting aging parents while working on businesses virtually. And we have a tendency to be nurturers, and our connectivity of thought keeps us very, very busy and maybe a little bit tired too. So when we're talking about doing your strategic plan today, let's talk about your business strategic plan, but let's integrate some of your personal things there too. So we're going to start the slideshow. And remember, there's something about being about grace. And so I'm going to share. I'm having technological support right now. So here we go. And I'm going to share my screen and just be patient with me. Here we go. Are we ready? Now, all right. So we're going to build your personal brand, and it's a lot of fun. It is all about your strategic plan. You're very different than anyone else. And when we would take our clients through this 8-step personal branding process, if we work with our clients for 8 specific weeks, there's 8 steps. And I can tell you that the first thing we do is to start with goals. So Andrea, can you pop up our first poll, please? It's kind of fun. You know, those of us who have goals, sometimes we think we need to do them on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Some of us may have been doing them daily or hourly over the past few months, but take some time to answer that question and see if, do you have clearly defined short and long-term goals? Okay, well, let's see. Yes, we're seeing that 37% or so do. Most of us somewhat have goals, and we're hanging at about 8%, not at all. Well, I got to tell you, that's really pretty common. It is not unusual for us to develop a lot of goals. When I'm working with women, I think it's a blast. I'll say, okay, what are your goals? And they'll say, well, some of them are to get certification, grow my business, grow my client base, spend more time with my family. Sometimes it's lose 10 pounds, read more. And gosh, remember, was anybody on social media around the time of the beginning of the pandemic when they were saying, okay, now that we're going to spend time at home, I'm going to do all kinds of free yoga classes. I'm going to learn Italian. What I want you to do is to consider that you can do your goal development at any point in time. You can break them into personal and professional, but right now I think we want to be even more strategic. The time and attention that it has taken to maintain our businesses and grow our businesses over the past 3 months, let alone what is more normal time, is significant. And protecting your time as a person is also extremely important. So you want to write down those goals. You want to write down those goals, keep them visible. You know, they said a goal without a plan is just a dream or a wish. Write them down and post them somewhere, and find an accountability partner. I have an accountability partner. He's merciless. It's for nutrition and exercise, and it's a good thing because it's a shock collar, because in working at home for the past 2.5 months, you would probably have to roll me out the door, and my only thing I would eat is chocolate. So write down your goals, keep them visible, but make them reasonable. We as women have a tendency to be very, very hard on ourselves. So So please, let's make them reasonable. And when we accomplish the goals, let's celebrate. So when working with clients, we say, write down our goals and be bold. Don't ever think, well, that person could do it and I can't really do that. I'm just whatever. Those negative voices in our mind are so extremely loud. Come on, ladies, let's be bold. Let's be confident and positive. Let's make this summer the beginning of something really pretty super. Okay. All right. So goals, we're going to go on to, ready? I love doing this with women's events. We're going to construct some self-assessment. I'm struggling to get my next slide to load here. So wait 1 second. My system froze. But our next step is while I'm getting help, is constructing a self-assessment. And boy, we ladies, we just love being assessing of what we're good at and what we're not good at. So what we want to do is to analyze our strengths and to analyze those things that we need as far as improvement is concerned. Right? Strengths and areas for improvement. Did you notice that I didn't say weaknesses? Because we don't have weaknesses. We're phenomenal people. Everyone is phenomenal, but women, come on, ladies. As I said before, the negative voices are always so much louder, so much louder than the positive voices. And so let's take another poll, please, before we go into strengths. So Andrea, can you pop up another poll for us? When we talk about our strengths, and I'm working with my clients, I try to explain that your strengths are your competitive edge. So if someone were to ask you what your competitive edge is, would you know what to say? We have a tendency to compliment other people, and we have a tendency to say, oh my gosh, you're so good at that. You're a great communicator. You're so organized. You're wonderful at social media. No one has ever led a meeting like that before. But if you were really asked, what is your competitive advantage? Would you really know what to say? Well, I'm really pretty happy at seeing this poll that yes, definitely, almost half of us are saying that yes, indeed, you would know what to say. Go girls, I love this. Sort of, I'll take sort of as an answer. Not at all. Oh, you're gonna love this next exercise. Everyone will, but for those of you who are expressing that you're not really quite sure what your competitive advantage is, my gosh, have I got fun for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on finding out exactly what your competitive advantage is. For those of you who can actually say, my strengths I am a good communicator, I am organized, I am all the things that you could possibly be. Here's a great exercise for everyone. I want you to ask 3 to 5 people for a list of your strengths. Sounds crazy. When I have my clients do this, they get so intimidated. Oh my gosh, how are we going to do it? I don't know if I can do that. And I actually ask them to ask for those questions either face-to-face or pick up the phone. Don't send a text message and don't send an email. What you want to be able to do is to say, I'm working on my business, I'm working at moving my career forward, and I need to find out what my competitive edge is. What are my strengths? I need to be able to understand them better so that I can continue to develop. What you do is you ask those people to list strengths. Don't give them a limited number. Please just say, I'm looking for a list of strengths, and if you can get them to me by, give them a deadline, because if not, everyone is very well intended, but let's face it, we're also a little bit strapped for time. So maybe you want to give them a week and say, if you wouldn't mind getting them to me by the middle of next week, that would be pretty fabulous. When you get those list of strengths, I've done this with Erin. Oh, the wonderful words that Erin received. But you lay those lists of strengths from those 5 people. You lay them side by side and you look for similarities and synonyms. You're a good communicator. You're goal oriented. You're a nurturer. You make complicated things easy to understand. You're a connector of people. You always have people's best interest in mind. You know how to drive for results. When you see those similarities, you know that that in fact is your competitive edge. I want you to put on a t-shirt. I want you to post it on a post-it note on your monitor. That is your battle cry. I always taught my kids, no one is better than anyone else, but we're different. We all have different gifts. We all have different qualities and skills and talents and strengths. And I want you to find them. And let's go back to, who should you ask? Who should those 3 to 5 people be? I always suggest that you have someone who is a coworker. Write down a family member, please. How about a client or a customer who you serve? Someone who has referred you, said you have to go do business with them. Someone who has referred you. And last but not least, a friend. So what you have then is a blend. What you have then is a blend of people who know you as a person or as a professional and so that you have the entire spectrum. Because remember, when we said we do that strategic plan for your person, we're doing it for you as a person, but we're also doing it for you as the professional. It's the whole person, okay? So your strengths are your competitive edge. Do it. How can I cheer you on? Do it. If you're, clients of mine, they have to do it. They're accountable to me. It's kind of like going back to my days of teaching. Boy, be your own best friend. Find an accountability partner. Share your results. You're all used to seeing each other in the community. You know other people who are on this call. This is a lot of fun. Let's do it together. All right, strengths. Remember the second part of that slide that I just showed you? Okay, areas for improvement. Why is it that we have the same things trip us up over and over and over again? We develop those goals and we're sure we're going to do it, and something happens along the line, boom, we didn't do it again. In our minds as women, we failed. We did it again. And remember those negative voices that I was talking about? Oh, the negative voices get so much louder. I knew we couldn't do it. So-and-so could do it. I knew that would happen. This is really easy, folks. These are areas for improvement. I want you to make a list of consistent problem areas. Maybe it's time management. Maybe it is organization. I work with clients that will say, Jill, if you saw the piles of paper in my office, you wouldn't believe it. I always think I'm going to do a lot of things in any given day and I don't accomplish them. I want you to make a list of consistent problem areas. For me, I am by all means a glass half full to overflowing type of a person. I'll make a to-do list. If I would make the to-do list at the beginning of the week and not label it Monday, I would be a rock star. If I would say the week of and have all of my list of things that I want to accomplish, that would be terrific. No, I write Monday, which means the 20 things that I had on my list, if I accomplished 8 of them, well, I failed. I didn't do 12. But if I would have said that was for the week of, I would do better. So make a list of things that consistently cause you issues, that hold you back with your goals and your confidence. Include how you're going to eliminate them. I'm going to delegate them. I'm going to hire someone to do them. I'm going to learn different software. And then once again, give it a deadline. Get rid of it. Oh, we have a question. Someone said, please repeat the list of people to ask for strengths. Absolutely. I'm originally from Pittsburgh. We talk very fast. The list of people I want you to ask for those strengths. I want you to ask a coworker. I want you to ask a family member. I want you to ask a customer or a client. I want you to ask someone who has referred you, someone to your business or someone for your advice. And last but not least, I want you to ask a friend. Thank you for that question and keep them coming. All right, so these areas for improvement, ladies, make the list, figure out how we're going to get rid of them, create a deadline, and let's get rid of them and put it behind us. It's like losing 20 pounds and doing spring cleaning all in one fell swoop. Who doesn't want that, right? Now, here we go. Communicating your value. It's very easy for us to tell the benefits of someone else, but remember back in the days of the 30-second commercial or an elevator pitch? Can you imagine really someone talking at you for 30 seconds? Can you imagine cornering someone in an elevator? No, but have you ever gone somewhere and thought, oh my gosh, I just met someone who would make a great client, a great customer, a great referral source, and I loved it. I have a bio, and the bio is not reflective of me at all. How do you communicate your value without boasting? How do you communicate that value without boasting? Well, let me tell you, it's not hard. Here you go. Here's what you want to do. We call this our perfect pitch. It's kind of fun. We call this our perfect pitch, and what you want to include is who you are. Well, of course, you're going to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Jill Slomski. What do you do? Well, I own a company called Niche, and we train people and do strategic plans. How do you do it? Well, we have a process. How do you do it? You talk about your process. What does your business do? It's wonderful to bring people through the experience of your business. whether you are a nonprofit, whether you are a retailer, whether you're economic development, whether you're manufacturing, you're a service provider, you're in healthcare, education. Tell us the process of how you do what you do with your clients. It brings us into that awesome experience. My gosh, look at the fourth one on your screen. Why do you love it? Why do you love what you do? I got to tell you, people absolutely are attracted to professionals who convey the fact that they love what they do, whether it shows on their face, it's the enthusiasm in their voice. Think about the stores that the businesses that you frequent, that you're loyal to. I'm going to give you an example. Ready? I live in Pennsylvania. One of the glorious things about living in Pennsylvania is we have a grocery store by the name of Wegmans. Wegmans is kind of like the Disney World of grocery shopping. For those of you who want to come and visit, come stay with me and I'll take you to Wegmans. You really want to do it now though while our weather's good. But there is a person in Wegmans who makes coffee. She's at the coffee bar. Her name is Peg. When I do my events, when I go around the country and speak, I always say, I love my Peg. Peg makes my coffee. Peg makes thousands of people coffee. She loves what she does. Walks up, how are you doing? How are the kids? Good. How's business? Are you going to be traveling this week? How's your dad? She's part of the family. There is a woman who works at Macy's. She always helped me with my dad as a senior citizen with his clothing. She would laugh and say, I've got your dad in a dressing room. He said he was a 38. We know better. Don't worry. He's in there. I love her. Think about who you're loyal to and why are you loyal to them? Well, more than likely, they really love what they do. They have a passion for what they do. So when you're conveying what you do for your passion, for a living, you want to say who you are, what you do, that's your title, how you do it, why you love it, a little bit about what you do outside of the office. See, nobody can have a relationship with a job title. Nobody can have a relationship with that person that they pass by when they go into a business. But the person who can explain what they really do and why they have a passion for it, that's a big deal. That is a really big deal. Are you ready? Let's do a poll. Are you ready, Andrea? Can you throw up our next poll, please? Here it comes. Are you using social media effectively to promote your business? Gosh, if social media hasn't been absolutely off the charts important, right? We're also virtual for such a long time. We were sitting at home on laptops, on webinars, on Zoom calls. Holding our phones, shopping online, being a little bit lonely. Isn't it funny how everybody is really essential personnel in our lives? Social media has been truly effective for so many businesses. And yet, some of us work in a compliance-driven atmosphere. Some of us are afraid of saying the wrong thing. Some of us are afraid that our personal information is going to be breached. And some of us are really in need of a really good digital firm to help us do it. So let's see. What we see is, yep, 20% of you are using social media and loving it. 17%, almost as many are saying, yeah, but with a lot of work. Some people aren't sure. I'm hugging you. I'm with you, right? And some not at all. So we have a smattering all across the board. Well, okay, let's get to it then, right? Let's get to it. As far as social media is concerned, we have three very, very interesting platforms available to us. So many of you have a website. And for those of you who have a website, you put it together with a designer. It's really beneficial for you to be sure that you have truly taken your competitive advantage that we talked about, that competitive edge that you have, and make sure that the feeling of that is being conveyed in your digital personality and what you're conveying. You also want to be sure that on that website, there are photos. If you have a physical location, that you have photos showing us what it's like inside of your business. You want to be sure that we have how to connect with us. Some websites are pretty templated and non-personal, and that's not you. That's not you at all. Be sure that there's a way to interact and engage on your website too. So I know that some of you have created your own. Website development can be extremely expensive. It can also be extremely affordable. You want to find a good partner who's going to talk to you about how to convey your personality and your true vision and mission for what it is that you do and what you're delivering on your website. Website traffic is up. Oh my gosh, the analytics behind our virtual our virtual engagement right now is crazy. So post some nice things. If you can blog, post blogs to make things more personal. But look at your website. And then I have another tip for you. Take some of your best clients and customers and have them shop your website. Have them pull it up and sit right next to you. Right now, maybe 6 feet apart, but have them walk through what it's like to shop your website. And I mean shop, I'm air quoting, you can't see me do it, but I'm air quoting shop your website, and talk about what can you do to make it a little even more engaging, you know, so that you're almost using all of the senses that you can't really use virtually. And then if you have a business that's similar to yours, whether it's in your region or not in your region, what you want to do is also do some comparative analysis to make sure that you have it where you want to go. All right, let's go to LinkedIn. When we talk about websites and when we're working with our clients, we talk about a website is kind of like your suit. That's your best professional foot forward. When we talk about LinkedIn, we are completely talking about business casual. LinkedIn is where great relationships, new and old, are. You have the opportunity to have a great LinkedIn profile page, right? So I hope that in looking at your own, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile page, oh, for heaven's sakes, do it. Rip off the Band-Aid. Let's do it. Jump in. For those of you who do have a LinkedIn profile page, how about we make sure that there's a headshot on there that looks like you? Full color, even recent would be great. I work with women and I look at their website, I look at their LinkedIn page, I look at their Facebook page, and it's almost like they're 3 sisters. And I'll say, we got to pick one, ladies, you know, we got to pick one picture. And they'll say, well, my picture from 15 years ago really looks so good. Well, you look good now too. So let's get a good headshot on there, smile. And the background photo, you have the opportunity to change it. So if you're still living in the world of blue background with white dots and white lines, that makes you kind of look like a geometry homework page, let's get rid of that. Let's put your logo behind there, or maybe the picture of the inside of your business. And by all means, let's make sure that our contact information is correct. I'm forever working with clients who have, emails from days of yore and yesteryear, where it's kind of Hotmail type of a thing. You don't want that. You want to have your business one in there. Put in links for your website, that your LinkedIn page becomes the one-stop shop for all information for you. You can actually add your website, add your telephone number, your address, your birthday. Why would you want to add your birthday? Well, on your birthday, you know what happens with all your LinkedIn connections? Up pops, it's Erin Williams' birthday. It's not, but when it is, Erin, we'll so send you a message. But it's Erin Williams' birthday. Do you want to wish her a happy birthday? Well, of course we want to wish Erin Williams a happy birthday, but what else does it do for your clients and your customers? It says, oh, Erin Williams, Edward Jones, financial advisor. I probably need to call her. So it's a gentle reminder that you exist too. So LinkedIn is an excellent way for you to have all of your information. Make sure your bio is on there. Use the information that we used on that other slide, creating that perfect pitch to create your bio, but then feel free to reach out. Who could possibly help you grow your business? Send them a message, connect with them. So we want to, and know that our clients right now who are reaching out to people who they have never done business with, they're sending messages, invitations to connect on LinkedIn with an invitation that says, I would love to talk more with you about your business. I'd like to learn more about the clients and customers that you have. Can you find time in your schedule? And they're getting responses of yes. This virtual world is causing us to be more efficient and more strategic. So if there's someone out there who you've always wanted to have coffee with or always have wanted to meet, go out onto LinkedIn, find them, reach out to them, ask for a meeting, ask for a virtual meeting. Heck, Zoom away, right? Look at them face to face, do a WebEx. If there is a person who you've always wanted to have as a client, you can say, you know, if you ever have questions about fill in the blank, or if you ever need fill in the blank, please feel free to contact me. I would love to help. As far as posting on LinkedIn, post your events, post some interesting articles, post things that you're doing inside of your business. LinkedIn is business casual, be bold. Connect with all of your clients and customers. Connect with all the people in your area. Connect with your chamber members. Connect with anyone who could refer you and help you grow your business. And for as much as you're looking to grow your business on LinkedIn, you also want to be a giver. You want to be the person who is also connecting for everyone's higher good. We're in it together. How many times have we heard that over the past 2 months? We are in this together. It's a win-win. We can do this. For those of you who have a Facebook page, please know that Facebook is that warm and fuzzy place where we can find out exactly what it's like in your business. How do you do business? What does it look like in your business? How do you serve things? I always tell my clients, when you go to post on Facebook, word things as though you were speaking directly into the ears and hearts and minds of your clients. All right, so in developing your Facebook post, talk about things that are going on, your events, but also what would you want your best client or your best prospect to know about what it is that you're doing. Put some sort of a graphic in there with it, and you'll have great engagement. Get people to like it. Boost your posts, folks. Boost your posts. It really works to help to continue to get people to engage. Put your Facebook link back on your, I'm pointing to the screen, back onto your LinkedIn profile page. So in your contact information on LinkedIn, add your Facebook as another website so that you have more people hopping off and looking at your Facebook page. Throw that Facebook icon and your LinkedIn icon on business cards. You are not being salesy and promotional. You're adding value to people's lives by offering your services to people who need them. No good idea sells itself. I used to teach advertising. No good idea sells itself. Remember that, but also remember this. Everybody wakes up in the morning. There's somebody out there who wakes up needing exactly what it is that you do. Unless you tell them that you're out there, they're going to go to bed again without having that professional there to make their lives better. All right? All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's talk about your target market. Let's talk about your target market, and let's do a poll, please. So I think this is our last poll. Let's pull it up. Are you ready? Andrea, if you put the poll up, we will vote. Here we go. The question, can you describe your target market in one sentence? Anyone doesn't count. We were trying to be funny when we put these together. Can you really describe exactly who your target market is, your niche, your sweet spot? I love the fact that everybody's hopping on and voting so much. Keep going, folks. This is great information for all of us. When we start a business, it's so easy to say, you know, who do you want to sell something to? Anyone. I just need the business. Anyone, anyone. But if we can, I had someone go, a friend of mine went to a conference. They came back from the conference and said to me, Jill, the more narrowly you can define your target market, the more money you will make. Did you guys hear that? The more narrowly you can define your target market, the more money you will make. So be bold. If some of you want to say that you specialize in certain target market, you want to state that, put that in your social media. So let's see. Yes, you can easily do that. 35%. Awesome. Yes, for the most part, 46. That's great. Maybe a little bit of work, 10%, and no, 10%. Well, let's work on that. Ready? When we work with our clients, we do a client analysis. What you want to do is to look at your top 25, your best clients or your best customers. Top 25. Really focus on them and look at similarities. How old are they? What gender are they? You know, is it mostly women? Is it mostly men? Is it mixed? It can be mixed. That's fine. That's not general. Do you have mostly people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s? Keep going all the way up to 100. People are living past 100 all the time. All right. So is it age? Is it gender? What about marital status? Does your business depend, or is your sweet spot have something to do with married or single, widowed? What about what they did or what they do for a living? You know, so do you specialize in any particular, is it healthcare? Is it some sort of educators, or is it, well, I don't know. Is it geography that drives business to your door? Is it, you know, when I used to work with retailers, when I did a lot of work with the chamber, we would do our sweet spot. And if I was working with a certain retailer and we realized that their sweet spot was women over the age of 55 who made $50,000 and more, who lived within a 10-mile radius, who were at least employed part-time. So what is your client analysis? What you want to do is to really figure out who your target market is and make sure that you are speaking to that target market specifically. It really, really works. Who is your sweet spot? Boy, you know, that's a great thing to do now that we've been through so much trying to maintain businesses and grow businesses in this virtual time. But if you really focus on who really resonates with you, who are your favorite people? And maybe with you and your team, what you can do is to go back and say, Now, who do we really enjoy? How can we replicate those people? And on that note, how can we replicate them? Well, when I work with clients, I talk about filling a funnel. This is when you look at your top 20 current prospective clients who have money in motion in 6 months. You have to understand, I primarily work with financial advisors. I work with multitudes of different people, and I have in the past. But for those of you who are working with clients specifically, clients not customers, maybe what you want to do is look at your prime prospects. For those of you who are retail, maybe you want to look at your top clients who are your heavy users of your retail organizations, heavy contributors to your nonprofit organization. Keep an eye on them and try to track activity over 6 months. It really, really helps us to make sure that you don't go from having really strong months to, hello, are we going to do all right? Focus on who your niche is from our last slide, and then fill that funnel with prospects of who has activity, who will be using your business a great deal in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 months. 6 months takes us to November. For those of you where the holidays really do affect your business, my goodness gracious, can you believe it? I remember working with retailers, and we would be doing our merchandising in July and August and doing our ordering for November and December. You're in crazy times, folks. We're in this together. Do your planning, strategize with your team. It works. Last but not least, my goodness, how wonderful is it to look at evaluating your network, as so many of you took the time out of your really busy days to participate in an event that's virtual, and you want to go out to networking events, and you always hope that those networking events really, really work. But do you really, really work your network, right? You have a professional network. Are they working for you? When I'm working with my clients, I'll say, okay, so what professional networking organizations are you involved in? And they'll say the Chamber, Rotary, BNI, oh gosh, some executive women's organizations. And I'll say, are they working for you? Are you getting business from them? And isn't that why we exist as a chamber? A chamber is to help to educate and communicate, congregate, and network for the higher good of everyone. So, you know, whether we are Zoom calling or we're face-to-face, you want to go into a meeting strategizing. Who do I really want to talk to? Who can I serve in this meeting? Who do I want to have lunch with? And I always tell, I'm a big baseball fan, and I always tell my clients, not for the chamber, but for any networking organization that you have walked away from stone cold, you have to go in strategizing. And if they're not for you, they're not for you. Some people are really good with BNI. Some people are not good with those paid for forms of networking. Some people have created their own networking organizations. But to strategically network, the way to go big on your next chamber meeting is to go in there with a plan for who you want to meet, what conversation you want to have with them, how can that help you grow your business, and how can you help them with their business. Always remember, we're not takers. It's the collaboration that helps. Always collab. What's in it for you? Who is your ideal customer? Who's your ideal client? How can I help to serve you? And by the way, you know what? I'm going to tell you who my ideal client is. I'm going to tell you who my ideal customer is. Please, please send them to me so that we can help. Personally, we all have those personal networks, right? We have book clubs. We have, we're part of PTA and churches and all those types of things. When I say do you benefit from those, do they fill your cup? That's really what I'm looking for, because we as women have a tendency to really run out and run on fumes. We serve, we make 85% of the decisions in a home, whether we are married or not. We control most of the wealth in the United States. We care for young children. We also are the primary caregivers for older adults. So when you are choosing how to spend your personal time, please be sure that what you're doing is that you are filling that cup, okay? You've got to have a win. I had a great conversation with a client one time. We were making a list of all of her personal networking organizations, and she said she belonged to a book club. And I said, well, Linda, tell me, what are you guys reading? And there was a pause, and then she laughed at me, and she said, oh, Jill, we don't read. We snack, and we drink wine, and we solve the problems of the world. If you can find yourself that kind of personal networking group, do it. You know, whatever works. We want to grow professionally. We want to grow personally. We want to be sure that we're full, because only then can we give to the people that we serve at home and the people who we serve also in our businesses. Last but not least, when we're working with our clients, we work on a 12-month rolling calendar. So regardless of the type of organization that you have, please know that you need to be able to engage with your customers and clients and prospects each month in a way that is a softer version of business. You want to target that ideal client that we were talking about, and consider there's all kinds of different events that you can have, whether they be educational, philanthropic, or just for fun, because gosh knows we spend so much time with what it is that we do for a living that we really do want it to be fun. We just want it to be fun. So to summarize, when you are building your personal brand, you're doing your own strategic plan. You want to identify your goals, and yes, you can. Yes, you can. I want you to put all kinds of post-it notes on your screen, all kinds of positive things on your mirror. Yes, you can. Write them down, share them, find an accountability partner. Enhance your strengths and identify those areas for improvement, and put those areas for improvement behind you. Ask those folks, those 5 people for your strengths. Create your power pitch so that you can easily communicate what it is that you do and how you do it and why you love it. Work on your digital presence. You don't want to be a job title. You don't want to be just a flat presence digitally. You want to be engaging. Analyze that ideal client, replicate them. Ask for referrals. Bring your friends. Develop that funnel of prospective clients and customers. Be strategic in how we grow. Network strategically and promote your brand. And there we go. There's our contact information. I am going to now ask for assistance so that I can get rid of my screen share and just talk to you. And I know now that Erin said that she's going to gather some questions. I'm hoping some of you have questions. I'd love to clarify anything that I may have said a little bit quickly. Does anybody have questions? Erin, did anybody ask anything? We got one question in there. Hi,
Yes.
Erin, you're with me.
Yes, I'm here. So one question that popped up when you were talking about social media and posting content, whether we were sharing something or like you were talking about the look into your branch and what you're doing or your store or whatever it is. What's your recommendation on how often and maybe when? Like, is there a certain time frame?
Great question. That's a great question. As far as how often, if your business lives on people walking in the doors, you want to be posting at least 2-3 times a week, showing displays, the welcoming staff, the fun that you're doing, have some fun with images, and what you want to do is to have a virtual tour. Think about it. And I always say to my clients, think about when you go on vacation. You select a spot and you select a hotel, a resort, and you're going to go to their website or you're going to go and look at reviews. So what is it that you want to show someone about your business or about the event or post-event type of a thing? So what you want to do is to create an experience and be really, really excited about it. And remember that you're speaking directly to your target market. What do they want to see? What would they want to know? And then draw them to the next step. Time of day, you want to increase your followers. Time of day, most people are on social media first thing in the morning and later in the afternoon and in the evening. Once your information is on their Facebook feed, it's not a one-shot deal. It will be recurring. But if you want to hit them with fresh information, it's first thing in the morning, and it's also then later in the day and on weekends. Remember, think about when you're sitting with your laptop, right? So then replicate that time of day. Boost your posts, and you'll also get more activity. Let's see, I have a question here, Erin. Can we see the page for the 12-month rolling calendar? Sure we can. I'll be happy to give that to you, but that means that I'm going to have to go back and show that on the slideshow show. And so we'll get that to you in just one moment, I promise.
Looks like we have another one about brainstorming goals. What kind of methods would you recommend using?
In brainstorming goals?
Yes.
Absolutely. So what I have my clients do is to think about where they want to be in the next 3 months, next 6 months, and then again in 12 months. And so if you can literally put yourself there, if you can put yourself there, we're finding the slide for you. You live in the moment and you write down what it's going to take for you to get there. So in writing down your goals, please separate them into personal and professional. So if it is a matter of revenue, if it's a matter of members, if it's a matter of attendees, you look at what you can controllably do with effort in a quarter, in 3 months, then in 6 months, and then in 12 months. And please, I just said that I was a glass half full person. I certainly am. I have a tendency to over project. Don't set yourself up for failure. I'm going to go back to that negative voice situation that I was discussing, where the negative voices for women have a tendency to be far louder. So set reasonable goals, get an accountability partner. If you work with a team, get the team to help to create those goals, whether they are monetary goals or, once again, membership goals, inventory type goals, attendees, or events. Get your team to vote on that, and then have the team help you with the processes to get you on track to so that you can accomplish those. And then along the way, you can't just put the goal out there for 3 months or 6 months or a year. You have to have the team benchmark how you're doing along the way, to benchmark the progress so that you can tweak it, so you don't get to the 3-month period, the 6-month period, and the 12-month period and say, well, that didn't work. You want to adjust along the way. And let's face it, the other thing we know about women and women in leadership is they're extremely adaptive. And so and for heaven's sakes, don't be afraid to make mistakes. When you try something and it didn't work, don't say, oh, forget it, I'm just going to go back to the way I used to do things. Be bold, embrace different, and embrace the change, and celebrate the wins, because you will win. You will hit those goals. Any other questions, Erin?
Let's see, I don't see, doesn't look like I have any more. Anybody wants to raise their hand and ask a question or post another question, we'll be more than happy to answer that for you. Let's see.
While Erin's looking, something I really want people that I want all of you to take away from this particular experience is this. We have a tendency as women to put ourselves in a situation where maybe you had time to write down your goals and write down your plan and consider these 8 steps that we walked you through today. And we have a tendency to get off track because we don't mark time for ourselves. You don't block the time. And people have a tendency, whether it's business or family or friends or whatever it is, to take precedent over that. And the way to really move the ball forward is to give yourself time. And I'm not saying every Saturday, because you're going to drop that ball, but start small. You know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So I ask you to give yourself 15 minutes on a regular basis, semi-regular basis, and to work on those goals, or to at least think, or to read, or to find time to make sure that you feel a little bit stronger in what it is that you want to do, because it is that gradual process that gets us where we want to go. You know, I remember my daughter was getting married, and I said I was going to lose weight, and so she was getting married in October. And in July, we had a shower in the backyard, big shower, big white tent in the backyard. And I kept saying, oh yeah, and I'm gonna be losing weight for the wedding and blah, 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 blah. And someone said, how much weight have you lost? And I thought, oh, I probably better get on that, shouldn't I? So, you know, it was just a matter of what was I going to do and benchmark. And then I finally got to that weight loss goal. And I know that weight is something that oftentimes women really can relate to, but it was a matter of, well, I wasn't gonna lose 15, 20 pounds really fast. I better benchmark that and celebrate. And of course, celebration with eating is different, but nonetheless. Another question: how can men best support women with their brand development? Listen to their ideas, support them, be creative, and I think say things like, I understand, how can I support you? Let's embrace this new idea. What do you need from me? What resources can we allocate towards that project or that initiative? I think with all the things that we're hearing in the news, many of us can't understand fully what it's like to walk in someone's shoes. And so, but what we can do is to respect the fact that for the people who are walking in those shoes, it's a thing. And so men can be phenomenal in listening, offering resources, and partnering, because for as much as women think differently and behave differently, men are also extremely unique in the way they think and behave, and it takes all of us to raise organizations to their highest level and to have great teams.
Fantastic. It doesn't look like I see any more. So
well, I really thank everyone. I hope that this helped. I hope that there's a takeaway. So, you know, Erin and Andrea and Paula, I appreciate the time. And we have our contact information out there. If you ever do have a question, we're always happy to help.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll have a handout that we'll send with the survey, so people can have that those action items on hand. And if they want to reach out to you on a one-on-one, then they can contact you and set something up. So
thank you. Thanks for the chance to participate.
Yes, thank you, Jill, for speaking and the wonderful points regarding branding. We really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So now I'd like to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about the subcommittees within the Women in Leadership and how you can connect with Women on the Go, which is quarterly events, typically in the evenings, and the Women for Women events are usually bi-monthly in the evenings. Both of these are great places to connect with a group of wonderful ladies. I know we've had to make some changes with that as well. A lot of them are virtually, and you might have saw the slideshow. We're having one on June 18th and talking about the basics of investment. But so go check out the Chamber website at www.richardsonchamber.com for the details of these and other upcoming programs and activities of the Chamber. As stated earlier, the mission of Women in Leadership is to inspire, influence, and champion powerful women through advocacy, mentoring, and networking. So if you're not a member of the Chamber and are interested in joining the more than 900 current members who are working together to build our community, or you're interested in being a part of a committee, please contact Andrea Young of the Richardson Chamber's event team. Okay, so now with door prizes. Who's ready? Obviously, we're not in person, so we're going to do a virtual, computerized, I guess, roulette wheel with the names of everyone who attended. And so, Andrea, I'll let you take over that.
Okay, hopefully y'all can see that roulette wheel there on your screens. I have loaded the names of everybody who registered for today's luncheon into this wheel so that you'll all have an equal chance for the door prizes. And we have 5 prizes today. And so the first prize is a phone charger that was donated by Sandy Treptow of Reliant Energy. And I'm going to go over here and spin this wheel. Let's see who the lucky person is going to be. And looks like it's going to be Cody Myers. So congratulations, Cody. And I will reach out to you separately to get that arranged. Okay, our second door prize is another phone charger donated by Sandy Treptow of Reliant. So for that second phone charger, let's see who it's going to be. And there we go. Heather Van Voris. Congratulations, Heather. I will reach out to you about that. Our third door prize is a plush blanket that has been donated by Monica Scott of Logotology. Let's spin the wheel. And it's a little bit slow now, I think, but it'll come around. Our lucky winner is Amy Spahn. Congratulations, Amy. We'll get that plush blanket to you. Our fourth door prize is a bottle of wine. You know, we always have to have a bottle of wine with Women in Leadership. Donated by Angela Powell of Powell Advantage. And the winner of that is, there we go, Jan Arendt. Congratulations, Jan. We will get that bottle of wine to you. And our last door prize is a $25 Starbucks gift card, which includes a survival kit with hand sanitizer, tissues, Band-Aids, and a plastic cup donated by Aaron Williams of Edward Jones, our host today. So that last door prize is going to go to, it looks like Ben Isaac. Congratulations, Ben, and I will get that to you. I will email all of you that won today to organize getting these prizes to you or having you pick them up. Okay, back to you, Erin.
Great, thanks, Andrea. So once again, we'd like to thank everybody for attending our virtual luncheon. We hope you enjoyed your lunch that you provided and the materials that you heard. So everyone, be sure to fill out the survey. Let us know some feedback and some topics that we could possibly look into doing in the future. But have a great day and make plans to attend our next luncheon September the 2nd. Have a good day.